Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
Much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, it should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from the basement bunker beneath Kettle Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage. I don't have a lot for you this morning, but there are some great stories. The legacy media just absolutely continues to amaze. So let's see what the president is up to, because we've got to start with Trump. He really is. He really is setting the agenda. So Karl Rove was on Sunday Night in America with Trey Gowdy on Fox News Channel to discuss the highs and lows of Trump's second term. I think Karl Rove, with all respect to Karl Rove, don't believe a word he says. He is some kind of political genius, supposedly. I think that's hold on, I don't want that. I was trying to delete that audio, that video. We're told he's some kind of political genius, and then George W. Bush in particular helped lead him to the White House. And I'm just not a Karl Rove guy. I am not a Karl Rove guy. So Karl Rove is on with Trey Gowdy, and he said the president should focus on a strong economy and inflation. Is that not what he's doing? Rove is out there just parroting up all the legacy media crap. We don't hear this from enough people now, Rove. So he's saying the president's got to be focused on those two things. I think that people wanted, which was a strong, prosperous economy, inflation being wiped out. Rove also highlighted the high cost of gasoline. And he said the president is saying gas is $1.90. I just filled up my tank and it ain't $1.90. What was it? Then what was it? Ain't $1.90. What was it? So Trump. Let's go to Trump's True Social account, because I'm not all that interested or influenced by what Karl Rove has to say. So the president over on Truth Social, because I wonder what inspired this comment from Trump. I saw it this morning. I visit the president's True Social account pretty regularly. So this was after the interview. The president saying, I don't need to have Karl Rove of Fox News tell me what to do. The guy's a total loser who's been wrong about almost everything. Now, I thought that was funny anyway, but I think especially seeing what it was that Karl Rove was saying. And there's the president. He's very tuned in to what folks are, what else is out there in the media and what people are saying and what they're doing. And so the president was right on top of it. And I've got to say, it just, it really made me laugh. There are a number of things that don't make me laugh all that much. Let's take a look at what's going on at CNN. They interviewed a gangster, a cartel gangster, asking how he felt. How do you feel about President Trump labeling you a terrorist? Isn't that the dumbest damn thing you ever heard of in your life? So, and CNN's getting mocked online, appropriately so. And of course, so look at this guy. He is wearing a a full mask, glasses, hat, gloves, so you can't see his hands, you can't see his eyes, you can't see any part of him. So of course, this is the guy CNN wants to talk to. According to the Trump administration, you're a terrorist. What do you make of that? So he starts to reply. Excuse me. Well, the situation is ugly, but we have to eat. Yeah, I guess that, there's no other work he could be involved in other than what's going on. Yeah, that just really angers me. So the reporter noted the segment was filmed in a secret Mexican hideout, then pressed the gangster on what he would say to Trump. And he said, my respect. According to him, he's looking out for his people. But the problem is the consumers are in the United States. If there weren't any consumers, we would stop. That's the ugly truth of that situation is, yeah, consumers are in the United States. And if they would stop, these guys would be out of business. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. But look at this guy, man. He's all dressed up. And then you get all kinds of reaction to this interview on social media, and I love this. One person saying CNN is in full meltdown mode as their usual smear tactics have failed again. So what's their next brilliant move? Interviewing the freakings cartel. They were clearly hoping for a Trump is evil soundbite. Instead, total backfire. Another who said, not the answer the Communist News Network wanted. And then people just go on tearing. And some, of course, are, once you hop on social media, you have a variety of different opinions. But that is absolutely crazy. CNN, and exactly why I don't watch any of these legacy media outlets. I mean, here is some cartel gangster totally hidden and doesn't want to be seen. Why should I give a rip as to what that guy believes? Or, you know what I mean? That's CNN, I think, though, for you. The president is calling more CEOs regarding the tariffs. Let's see what this is about. I'll increase the size there a little bit for you. He said this yesterday. He would reach out to any CEO in the country if he disagreed with them. I mentioned this early on the program this morning, and I wanted to I wanted to say this again because this was during the Kristen Welker interview on NBC News yesterday. And so the president talking about what happened and the conversation he had with Jeff Bezos of Amazon, because there were reports that were out that Amazon was going to list the impact of the 145% tariffs on China. So, and how it would impact certain purchases. So if you're purchasing something in particular, you would see it. So the president called Bezos about this. And the president saying that they would, that they would stop. They would stop doing that. And I had that news for you late last week. And Trump said, we had a great conversation with Jeff Bezos. He understood what I was saying, and they agreed that they were going to stop doing that. And the president then on Meet the Press saying, I'll always call people if I disagree with them. If I think that somebody's doing something that's incorrect, wrong, maybe hurtful to the country, I'll call. Wouldn't you want me to call He said Biden wouldn't call because he didn't know what was happening, but I do. And that is, I just in that comment alone, he's absolutely right. Trump knows what's going on. One of the things that I find, at least to me, it's just terrific, and I enjoy this, is the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And you certainly had the Biden administration doing things, but you never had the feeling it was Joe Biden, that it was the administration and there were people behind the scenes. And, and you would see these comments. Where is Trump's driving the car, man? Donald Trump is driving the car, and this is where we're going. And if you don't like it, get out. I mean, just absolutely incredible. So Trump said the tariffs are not supposed to be passed on to consumers. What people don't understand is the country eats the tariff. The company eats the tariff. And it's not passed along at all, he says. And of course, you listen to the companies, and then that's what Newsmax details here. Stores offering pre-tariff sales and so on, and which is marketing gimmicks is what they are. One of the people that I really admire and enjoy reading what he writes is Matt Vespa over at Town Hall. Here's a piece by Vespa this morning. The anti-Trump media is awfully quiet about this story now. What is this? Does he go on to say, in April, they were cranking out these stories about how this would be the worst market period since 1932, which they were. And that's not been the case. From CNBC, cue the left going back to insisting the stock market doesn't represent the economy. Yeah, absolutely right. And I shared this with you last week. The Wall Street Journal, Dow headed for worst April since 1932. And Margot Cleveland saying publishing story 9 days early might not be the best journalistic approach if you care about accuracy. So this story is still out there and it still has legs. Reaction to this and what's going on in the markets. And I think it's Vespa is right, because what he's pointing out is that it's just gone quiet. This just gone quiet. The media's gone quiet. They just don't want to talk about this, with the exception of Karl Rove being out there sounding like a maroon. That's not where we're at. Just shows that the what the legacy media is up to is just absolutely incredible. Okay, I wanted to show you this. I talked about this on the air this morning. White House just did something to trigger leftists in a galaxy far, far away. Yesterday, of course, was Star Wars Day. If you're a Star Wars fan, you kind of know that. May 4th is Star Wars Day. So the White House released this. This photo of the president, and it says, "Happy May the 4th to all, including the radical left lunatics who are fighting so hard to bring Sith lords, murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, and well-known MS-13 gang members back into our galaxy. You're not the rebellion, you're the empire. May the 4th be with you." Because, you had a number of people who are presenting Trump as, Emperor Palpatine, and it was Trump's face, He's absolutely right. They're not the rebellion. They're the empire. Absolutely right. I just love that. That is spot on. Just made me laugh. This one, however, not so many people are laughing at. That I think was, in the interest of kindness, I'll say ill-advised. Really was a bad idea. And it's generating a lot of news, even this morning, including local news, local reaction to that photo. And then finally, there is one other story that I want to share with you this morning. This is over at Breitbart, one of the stars of The Sopranos. And forgive me, I'm going to mess up this name. Sometimes my, pronunciations, especially in the morning. It's Joe Pantoliano. Considering a move to Portugal over Trump. There he is. So what's he saying? He was on The Sopranos, considering leaving the United States for Portugal. And this is in an interview with the New York Post. Said he was uncomfortable with the nature of what's happening in the U.S. He wants to run for the hills. He said, this is apparently it's video on Instagram. We're going to have to take a look at this, I think. Said he and his wife, Nancy, have been in Portugal. Added that during their visit, they looked into getting visas so they could live there part of the time or for most of the time, he's saying. So let's take a listen to what he's got to say.
Hey, it's Joey Pats, yeah. Reaching out. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't talked to you all. A lot has been going on. Nancy and I were in Portugal for a couple of weeks. First part of it was with our friends Tony and Lisa, and then we
wearing the USA and
journey.
That just chaps me,
and,
man.
We had a wonderful time. We actually looked into getting the visas so that we could live there part of the time, or
maybe more.
Most of the time. It's a great place to retire.
I am just taken away, taken aback by all of that. Hey, you want to leave the country? Leave the country. I mean, if you seriously, you've got freedom, you want to go, just go. You ever notice that very few people just leave the country? They need to announce it. They've got to announce it. They've got to let everybody know, yeah, I'm considering leaving the country. Alec Baldwin has done this. Others have done this. Don't announce it, man. Just go. Just go. What is it about people who think they've got to announce everything that they're, every move that they're making? It makes no sense to me, whatever. I just listen to that and I go, I wish you could understand how silly you look to somebody like me. I'm just like, if you want to go, by all means. I'm not saying folks should stay in here if they don't like the country. They don't. I would love to know if I had a chance to visit with him personally. I would say, what is it that's happening in the country? You're not even first of all, you're not even in the country right now. You're in Portugal. What is it that's happening in the country that you're not in that is so upsetting to you? That would prevent you from being able to be here? I mean, that is insane, is it not? I mean, I listen to that and I'm like, you have got to be kidding. Where does that come from? I just totally do not get that. I mean, if I could live through the Biden administration and not consider leaving the country and foregoing, my American citizenship. And I mean, if I could live through the Biden administration, I think it's safe to say you're going to make it through the Trump administration. What is it with these people? These announcements, we're considering go. Then go, just go. I wonder, it's just about seeking attention. It's just about How can I get more attention and, draw, dr- drama? It's such a part of this. Surprising that actors are involved in drama. But you understand what I'm saying? All of the drama surrounding that stuff, it's just like, man, you ought to, live on Main Street. I would say to this guy, hey, you know what? Come live in South Dakota for a while. Come live in Sioux Falls or anywhere in South Dakota. On Main Street, South Dakota. Come live here for a while and take a look at how folks are doing before you engage in all of this kind of just nonsensical garbage. It's just the latest in a series of people who are saying that kind of thing. All right, let's leave it there today. That is a wrap from the bunker. Hey, you have made it through the entire video. You are part of my gallery of champions. Thank you. And a special salute to the Bunker Brigade. That's the small number of folks who are here each and every day, at least as often as possible. And I salute you all. I appreciate it. So we'll do it again tomorrow. And until then, I'm underground and gone.